Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Pool just went off on an anti-Israel commenter, or something like that. Somebody that sent in a super chat and then talked about how Israel is controlling America.
It's a super chat from this dude, Blackest Panther, saying, "Why are you, Tim? You're logically inconsistent. Why are you more likely to be deported for burning an Israeli flag than an American flag?" Yo, I don't care about your retarded obsession with Israel.
Yeah, it's not that.
Shut up, you Israel obsessed morons.
It's about the trade
I don't
routes.
care. I don't care. I don't care. Stop. I don't care if it's Ukraine. I don't care if it's Israel. I don't care if it's Afghanistan. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from Japan. If you're from Japan, you come to this country and they start protesting and declaring that Americans should change our behavior for you. Get out. I got to be honest. When I hear people defending non-citizens coming in and trying to dictate American governmental policy, they have no right to do this. And then they say, well, but it's because Israel. Okay, I get it. You're obsessed. Your brain is rotted from your skull because the only thing you think about is Israel. I care about all the countries that are trying to negatively impact the United States. We've got to deal with Venezuela sending people from their prisons. Now, I know it's semantic. They're not literally taking people out of prisons, putting them on a bus and saying, go to America. They're releasing them and saying, get out of the country, go there instead. We don't want you. And then when they come here, Donald Trump says, we want to send these Venezuelan gangs and prisoners, former prisoners, cons and criminals back to Venezuela. They say no. So what does he do? He cuts a deal with El Salvador. These are criminals from Venezuela. You take them. We don't want them. The Democrats then say, we're going to keep them here. And then you super chat, but it's Israel. This is why our country is being screwed over and mercilessly beaten. And it's why we're facing these catastrophes that we're facing. Okay, because of the myopic view of so many people. I do these debates and conversations, and they're focused on one super stupid. Let me put it this way. During Occupy Wall Street, one of the most amazing moments was when some guy stood up during the General Assembly and he screamed out, "What is wrong with you people? The only thing we need to focus on is fracking. It is the center of all of our problems." And I thought, my God, there are people that live in bubbles. They only see one thing. That's the only thing they care about. Me, I got a bubble. I do. It's America. So if it's Venezuela, if it is Ukraine, if it is Russia, Iran, China, Israel, or otherwise, and they're negatively impacting us, I'm going to say, stop. I don't want to be involved in this. People need to focus on on the issue, and that is, we have a system of governance. We have a body politic. The American people, for hundreds of years, have built and they've planted trees whose shade they know they will not sit beneath. Blood and treasure sacrificed to make the greatest nation this world has ever seen. Over the past 30 years, our border has been porous, our manufacturing base eroded and stripped away, and now Donald Trump is doing what he thinks he can, and I say thinks because we don't know how it's going to play out, whether it be tariffs, securing the border, to try and bring back some semblance of a cohesive nation. I will just say it that way. I don't care if they're anti-Israel. I don't care if they're anti-EU, whatever it is. I don't care if they're pro-gun or anti-gun. People from foreign countries that come here as guests that want to get up in our business and dictate what we should do, I think, and depending on the severity, for sure, get out. And I'm not going to cut a special pass for all the Canadians, each and every one of them, who keep coming to the United States and then running political shows telling us what to do. With all due respect, I'll cut them some slack. Okay?
So this was the extent of what he said, but think about what he's saying is, the thing about what he's saying is that people are so obsessed. It becomes to the point where everything is about Israel. Everything comes to this one small country. And Candace Owens is another example of this. Somebody who 70% of her shows are talking about Israel or Jews. And when you're focusing so much on a very small minority, whether it be in terms of population size or in terms of the fact that Israel is a very small state, maybe you just have a myopic obsession and hatred of the Jews. And, somebody can comment and say maybe, oh, because they're controlling America. Really? They're controlling America? Just tiny small population of people, as well as the fact that Israel is such a small, tiny country. They're like, oh, APAC. There are other groups that lobby. APAC isn't the only lobby group in the whole world, and so people find tiny coincidences. Oh, there was one Jew on 9/11 that celebrated. Like, okay. And there were, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians that were dancing in the street. Nobody talks about that. Like, it's unbelievable the level to which people will go to blame the Jews. And Tim Pool has had enough. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.